Alright guys, today I'm going to be doing CHING number 161. So I have like a system now going on where when I am uploading my death pile destruction videos, I'm writing down everything that has recently sold on eBay into my cha-ching list, because typically I do 50 things in my cha-ching, and quite frankly I'm hitting those 50 things pretty quickly if you ask me. So like I already have this cha-ching done with my 50 things, and I'm only too deep into my next cha-ching, but regardless I do feel like my death pile is, doing that on the daily, I think is helping my sales. I think I had someone ask, well, I think I had two questions in my last death pile destruction video. One was if I've made a dent in my death pile, and I have not. I have not made a dent, but it's still early days. We're still only in January, and I'm giving myself through the whole year to actually, accomplish that goal. Like that's the goal. And then, but yeah, no dent. No dent has been made really in the grand scheme. And then I think I had another question of like how many things that were in, a cha-ching were from like my death pile destruction videos. And in my last cha-ching, I didn't count for this one, but I'll call it out if it is. In my last cha-ching, I'm pretty sure it was around like 15 things that were, things I just literally listed and sold already. So that's not bad. That's not bad. So here we are at cha-ching number 161. So let's just get started. All right, so the first thing that I have is a Philosophy 3-in-1. This was in the scent Fresh Baked Apple Pie. That sold for $39.99. I sold that Twiggy Barbie doll, which wasn't a death pile destruction video, for $99.99. The next two items did go to the same person. The first was a flocked Santa Claus ornament, and he was wearing ice skates. That sold for $12.99, and they also purchased a spaghetti trim Santa Claus for $25.99. Sold a vintage My Little Pony. This one, well actually this was two of them. These were Bright Bouquet ponies. So for the lot of two, sold for $29.99. I sold a pair of Polly Pocket pants. These were just like a little pair of pants for a Polly Pocket doll. Those sold for $5. I sold a Marilyn Miglin perfume in the scent Gypsy. That sold for $49.99. I also sold a Starbucks mug for the state of Virginia. That sold for $19.99. Sold a couple of these Mexican folk art pieces. I'm pretty sure all of these were in a death pile destruction video. The first one was a rabbit that sold for $43. Also sold a gazelle for $29.99, as well as an ant that sold for $39.99. Then I sold a Longaberger recipe box, which was also in a death pile destruction video. That sold for $49.99. I sold a little Christmas Napco girl. She was holding a wreath. Sold for $39.99. Sold another one of those Michael Jackson doll outfits for $19.99. I'm almost all out of these now. Also sold a Littlest Pet Shop animal figure of a sugar glider. That sold for $8.49. We sold a Department 56 set. This one was called the London Skating Club, and that sold for $169.99 and wasn't a death pile video. I also sold another vintage My Little Pony. This one was a baby cotton candy, and she did come with accessories. Sold for $24.99. Also a Rosbro plastic Santa on skis that sold for $29.99. Sold this really old, this is from 1852, a really large book called A System of Operative Surgery. It's a really big book. Sold for $250. Fun thing about this, someone sent a message with this asking if I would send a note out because it was a birthday gift, and I will do that. I mean, I don't know if everyone will, because some people think like, who do these people think we are? You know what I mean? Like some big business. If someone is asking for something and they're paying like something like that, well, irregardless of what they're paying, I will still like sit down and write out a little nice handwritten note. Thankfully, I do keep some, you know, regular like thank you notes and thank you cards in my stockpile. So, you know, I had something I could write up for that. But have any of you had those requests before? I once also had a request, someone wanted something gift wrapped. I did that too. So, you know, it's very rare that those kind of requests come through, but when they do, I personally do it. Let's see, the next item was a Heidi Daus Chain of Events jewelry set. This came with a necklace, a bracelet, as well as a pair of earrings that sold for $99.99 and was in a death pile video. The next 1, 2, 3, 4 items all went to the same person. And this was all the rest of my Michael and Miko Kahn pottery pieces, and they purchased all of them. So the first one was a beetle bowl that sold for $39.99. Then there was also another one, looked slightly different, also sold for $39.99. Then a platter that had a mosquito on it also sold $39.99. And then a square plate with a mosquito, and that one sold for $49.99. Sold a vintage goodie purple hairbrush for $12.99. That was in a death pile video. A vintage Charmkins little toy doll on a hair barrette that sold for $16.99. Sold a Hazel Atlas uranium cup and saucer for $14. I have quite a few of those. Some of them have gone in the booth, and then some are selling on eBay as well. Sold a Jim Shore Santa Claus. This one was called Up on the Housetop. That sold for $59.99, and that was in a death pile video. And then I sold a Michael Jackson doll that was still in the box. That sold $39.99. Then next item went to a subscriber named Linda, and she purchased that mohair donkey for $23.50. I sold a Cat's Meow wood shelf sitter. This one was Halloween themed. It was called the Skeleton Outhouse. That sold for $15.99. Sold a, from 1991, Karen Cahill redware. This was a mini redware crock. That sold for $22.99. I actually have that same one in one of our booths currently. So if it doesn't sell in there, I'll put it on eBay because I know it'll sell there. Let's see, I sold, this one was a good sale. This was a vintage Mary Kay perfume in the scent Acapella. Sold for $125.99. I need a sip of drink. Ew, my coffee's all watered down. Okay, excuse me. Anyway, next was a Willie Ray. This was called Nighttime Friends. That sold for $99.99. I feel like that was in my death pile video. A Joseph Originals Pixie that sold for $39.99, and that was in a death pile video. I sold a vintage from 1990 Super Mario Brothers. This was a kid's shirt. Sold for $39.99, also death pile video. I sold a couple pieces of this. So someone purchased, this was a Royal Crown Staffordshire bowl with the plate. That sold for $35.99. So they purchased that, and then I think they just decided to purchase more because they bought 4 more sets because I have multiples. So 4 more of them for a total of $143.96. sold a vintage GameCube video game called Tak and Powers Juju. It sold for $14.99. Then another Jim Shore Santa, Man of the North, that sold for $99.99 and was in a death pile video. Hold on, I have down here, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second, guys. I have down here something that sold, but it hasn't been paid for yet. So I don't know if I'm gonna get paid for it. So I'm not even going to show it until it gets paid for. So let me just like make a little mark on that. I didn't realize that it hadn't been paid for yet. Anyway, next is a Land's End fleece that sold for $9.99. We sold a set of 2 Fenton Lily of the Valley glass lamp shades for $119.99. A vintage West Germany jumbo Christmas ornament for $12.99. A Native American little seed bead like necklace charm that sold for $12.99. A vintage She-Ra doll fashion, just a doll outfit for a She-Ra, that sold for $39.59. I know that's like a weird number. I sent out a 10% off offer on that. Vintage My Little Pony, this one was the January Birth Flower Pony, sold for $25.99. That lot of Santas of the Nations figures for $17.99. They were in a death pile video. A shampoo and conditioner set by Marula Oil. Those sold for $49.99. And the last thing that I have for this cha-ching is a vintage plastic waving Santa little light up that he was on a deer. That sold for $74.99. So that is everything for this cha-ching. I don't think I said in my last cha-ching video if my sales were up or down. They were up at that point. I checked today, they're down 9.1%. Yeah, so like I feel like sales are pretty decent right now. They're not horrible by any means. But obviously it could always be better. So, you know, listing daily I feel like is helping. I mean, you know, some of this stuff obviously was in, you know, death pile videos. So it's like newer stuff that was listed and is like leaving right away, which is awesome. So it's not just sitting on eBay. Like it's in and out super duper quick, and it could have been in and out even quicker had I listed it sooner. But you know, that's why we're trying to get through the death pile. But you know, I am feeling accomplished in the sense that, you know, the other day when I did pick up something at the antique store and I picked up something at Goodwill, and I listed both of those things like right away. I didn't even like let them go into the death pile. So, you know, I am making headway in like that regard where, you know, when stuff is coming in the door, it's being listed right away instead of, you know, just getting piled up in the death pile. So, but still not like a huge dent has been made. But like I said, I have the rest, like the whole year. I'm giving myself the year to actually get everything, you know, done and organized and cleared out and all of that good stuff. I do like whatnot videos. Like pretty much I've been consistent with those, doing one every Sunday. I scheduled another one for next Sunday. It's gonna be Monster High dolls. I'm taking a little bit of a gamble with that. I know like a lot of the dolls are worth more than what I'm starting them at. I'm starting them at like $5 starts on whatnot, and I know they're worth more than that. I know I could get more than that if I listed them on eBay, but I'm kind of doing a little bit of a gamble on those because sometimes I feel like my doll shows seem to do kind of decent. Like I feel like I can get a decent amount of people in them, as opposed to some of my other shows. I feel like it's just hard to like get people in, but I feel like there's a big audience for dolls on whatnot. So I'm kind of taking a little gamble in that aspect. So we'll see how that goes. you know, if I lose out a little bit, it's okay. It's not like the end of the world. It happens, kind of thing. And you know, it'll be just quicker to get them ran through on whatnot than it would be for me to sit down and take pictures of every single one, and you know, multiple pictures of it and list it and have it potentially like sit on eBay for a little while until the right buyer comes along and all of that kind of thing. So it's just something I'm gonna try, so we'll see. And I'll report back to you guys afterwards too, and maybe like my next, not my next cha-ching, because my next cha-ching might be before then, but regardless, I'll try and let you guys know about it. But that is pretty much everything for this cha-ching. Let me know how eBay sales are going for you, and if you are kind of maybe going along with me as far as trying to get through your potential death pile if you have one, how far you are along with accomplishing any goals you have for this year, even if they're not eBay related. Let me know. I also have some other goals for this year, and you know, if I accomplish any of them, I'll I'll let you know. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow.